things that you have to understand is that life life is always going to happen. First off, just be grateful that you're even here, like, because it's not that is not even a promise. That alone, that you're here, is not even a promise. So a lot of times you have to be grateful for that. A lot of times, all the time. You gotta find moments. You gotta find moments throughout the day where you're just grateful, because is that gratefulness is going to carry you on more toward, like, more to your journey. The gratefulness, the breathing, just making sure that you're here, making sure that you're here at the end of the day, making sure that you're not, in your mind and all these things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how anybody puts it. You must remain present. You must remain present. Don't try to, like, predict the future or reminisce on how the past was and how people did this and whatever the case may be. You can't do nothing about those sorts of things. You can't do nothing about the past nor the future. All those things is just things that you can't even grab on. That's invisible. All the things that we usually go through on a day-by-day basis is invisible. It doesn't exist. It's not there. It never was there. And it's usually like those good memories and everything else, those were the times where we was present. Like, those were the times where, we was mostly present. We was looking at everything, we was admiring everything, and so on and so forth. During this life is gonna happen. We will always have some sort of setback. We just, not always, but there's just gonna be times where we just gonna have a setback. Like, there's gonna be times when, like, especially, if you're doing this, like, if you're doing semen retention, or if you're practicing celibacy and everything else, some of you guys will know that that wasn't just an easy road. Like, it wasn't just fucking, like, straight ahead, all right, I'm done, that's it. Like, a lot of times it wasn't that, like, we always had this idea, but we had to go through a lot of things in order for us to get to the position where we are in our journey. Semen retention, meditation, our spiritual journey, celibacy, abstinence, sobriety, like, all these journeys of, quote unquote, wanting to self-improve. Because all that's within. All of those things are within. All of it. It's a silent battle. It's the same urge. It's probably not, it's not the same intensity, but it's the same urge. It's the same urge. It's the same urge. And it's like, or in life alone, like, if you're working on your business, your arts, your creativity, I know people who do like the martial arts, boxing, and things like that. Me personally, I never tried it. I have to try it. but I never tried it. So that whole self-defense thing is not in my abattoir, as you say. But even that is a journey alone. Either way it goes, you gotta go through pain. Like, you gotta go through pain. That's just the way it is. Some people stick with it, and some people, they look at it for what it is, and they know that they can build a better life, right? Regardless if it's good or bad. I'm not saying whichever is good or bad. It's just what life is. There's always different things going on in the world. It's just the way it is, and there's always different unique people. If you can't judge another person. I think the reason why we judge and compare and everything else, we have too much access to different shit. We have too much access to different shit. We see a lot of different uniqueness every single day, a lot of different situations every single day unfolding on the screen, you know? And it's like, man, like, you're comparing yourself to this person, you're comparing your life to this person, oh man, oh God, this person has this and da da da. I don't want to be like this person, da da da. Like, it's just these different type of things, and it's like, when you look at it, it's like, wow. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what the because we can vividly remember a time when life wasn't like this, like, everybody was gelling with each other, everybody was listening to different types of music, sharing movies and shit, sharing video games. Like, we didn't judge people if they played video games. Like, we all played video games, but I think, like, back then when we played video games, like, we wanted to be more outside more. We wanted to, man. We was like, man, like, listen, man, playing too much video games, man, this shit makes my head hurt, like, all these things, man. And I remember a time when, like, maybe I wasn't, the dating was probably more, like, authentic back then, and that was probably my problem, because, like, lust, man, lust, desires, and, fucking, oh man, we've distorted our minds in such unique ways. And I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you this. I think my man Nana said this. I thought about this. I thought about this shit heavy. Thought about it real heavy. Because, like, I remember a time when, I was chasing these things. I was going after these things. Like these were some of the things that maybe even now I still want. And like I said, like, it's no good or bad, but just looking at it and being aware for what it is. My man Nana said, if you're doing this shit, semen retention, sobriety, whatever the fuck you're doing, right? We're all have this internal thing that, you know, that we're trying to reach. If you're doing this shit for like praise, or, you know, if you're doing this shit for just to get somebody back, you know, like if you're doing this shit just to get more money, if you're doing this shit for, you know, manifestation, if you're doing this shit for anything outside of yourself, then maybe this shit's not for you. And I'm paraphrasing on that last part, but maybe this shit's not for you. And I had to think about that. You know, like I had a few setbacks. You know. My mind is going this way, it's going that way, it's going this way, it's going that way. It's creating all these stories, you know. And to be honest, me personally, I don't know where my setbacks is going to lead me. And you never know. Like, you never know these things. That's why, you know, like, you just must have faith that, you know, all these things that you're going through is for a reason, right? But I'm sidetracking. All these setbacks and everything else. And I start to question big time. I start to question if I'm doing this shit for the right reasons. And it's like once you do have like all the things that you want and everything else, and like it doesn't feel like what you kind of imagine it to be, or whatever the case may be, then you start to ask yourself, why am I doing all this, you know? I mean, I guess if you are asking yourself that question, I guess you're off to a good start. I mean, because I guess a lot of this is part of it. Ultimately, you can't give up. You must not give up. You must not give up. Because you understand that all the things that you're going through, you know, all the challenges that we're facing, you know, it is for a reason. It is for a reason. And I'll tell you this, I wouldn't be the person I am now, you know, like, I wouldn't be talking like this, so I wouldn't be, you know, focusing on my craft and everything else. Like, I wouldn't be because I improved a lot. Hold on, guys. Let me just tell you guys this right now. It snowed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in my video game, I had the snow update. So, oh shit. Yo, in my video game, I had the snow update. So, you know, it was snowing and everything else. You know, so, You know, so like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the snow weather yesterday. It was pretty cool. You know, like I had snow all over me, but you look like a big ass snowman. But it was pretty cool, man. You know, it was beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful till it's not. You know, it gets all sluggy. It gets all slushy and everything. It doesn't stay beautiful forever. But anyway, ultimately, it's this: you must keep on going because you understand that everything is for a reason. You understand that the setbacks that you make, the mistakes that you made, the mistakes that you made, the choices that you made, and you know that you made them for a reason. You know you made it for a reason. All those things happened so you had to see something. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be questioning. I wouldn't be questioning why I'm doing all this and everything else. I wouldn't be questioning and I wouldn't be having all these questions about life and everything if I didn't make these mistakes. If we didn't create bullshit. A lot of times a lot of bullshit had to happen so we can get the life that we truly want, the life that we truly desire. And be powerful within it. Like truly, truly. What the fuck would happen if you truly got the life that you really want now? We probably won't be able to handle it. We'll probably fall back to old selves and so on and so forth. You have to understand that everything that you're going through is for a reason. God will not give you something that you can't handle. You know, I'm not as deep as Nana. My man can get real deep, but ultimately, how you live life is basically the choices that you make. And it's like, if you're over there making dumbass choices and everything else, of course you go view life in this very fearful way and so on and so forth. You know, but if you're locked in, if you're not giving up, if you know that, because ultimately it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about none of that. We're all playing a role in this movie, in this video game, regardless of, because at the end of the day, nothing's happening. At the end of the day, things is just moving. Things is just moving at its own frequency. Once we get involved in like physicality and every like once we get involved in like these like kind of like things and everything else, then maybe like then it feels real and everything else. That's why sex is the bait into the loop. Well, you guys know the drill, right? You guys know, like, yeah, word. Like, we've been here, yeah, word. Yeah, like, yeah, word. Like, like, yeah, man, listen, man, like, we here, man. You guys already know that. You guys already slow that. We go, yeah, man. Seriously. Once we get involved in like the bullshit, like once we get involved in like our egos and everything else, the urges and shit, oh man, like like you feel different. And yes, the world changes in the smallest bit of detail, however you feel about it. when you're feeling the way, yeah, things is going to respond to that. When you're feeling the way, yeah, yeah, you feeling the way, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm not saying that like sex is bad and everything else. And I'm not saying that lust doesn't have power within it. Obviously, lust has power within it. That shit has a lot of power within it. And I tell you this, there's ways there's ways of using these things for power. You know what I mean? Like there's ways to make that lust turn into more creativity. Like there's ways of making that lust turn you into like a workout machine. Like there's ways of making these urges make you write a fucking book. Like you can fucking use this shit to create any fucking thing you want. And yeah, like, and we can go to the whole thing. Sobriety. You can use that sobriety, those urges to like drink or smoke a cigarette or and yeah, I'm talking to myself, smoke, because we yeah, we on that. We on that. Yeah, like so I'm talking to myself in these extremes. You can use that time to do something else. Like, oh man, like I can really do something else right now. What I want to do, we can go to the movies, we can go to the movies, yeah, sure. So, let's read a book, let's really focus on reading at least 5 pages of this book every single day. We can substitute that, and yeah, I bet that takes away a few extra time, like all those things, we can fucking instead of just we can work out for 2 hours, or an hour and a half instead of just 30 minutes. Yeah, like or we can fucking go out and try to talk to people for like 10 minutes a day, you know anybody. It can be it can be an old person, it can be a person of our age, man or woman, whatever. Focus on we can meditate 10 minutes a day, like all these things we can do to really be present in our reality. Stop scrolling. We can scroll for 10 hours less. 10 hours less. Hey, listen, a lot of people are on their phone for a long time. Well, I meant to say it was an hour less, but whatever. I said 10 hours. If I'm scrolling for 10 hours, boy, shit. Because, like, you can feel that shit. You can feel that shit. Like, because, like, once you stop scrolling and you're, like, looking around, you're like, man, what the fuck? Guys, listen, man. I gotta get to fucking work. It's 6 o'clock p.m. I hope you guys have a good day. Fuck. You guys better stay present, And I'm talking to myself too. Focus on your breathing and shit, you know what I'm saying? Because what else are we doing? Every single day, like, like, what else are we doing? We feel stuck because we're not doing enough. you know? Doing the same shit all the time, and we're not doing enough. Lost that edge. And these setbacks had to happen in order for you to see that. Because you gotta feel some type of way whenever you go back to doing what you used to do. You feel that shit. You feel that shit. all this fucking hard work that you put in and everything else, you worked on your body, you worked on your diet, you worked on your mind, you worked on your discipline, you worked on your passions for things, you worked on this, you worked on that. You worked out all that internal shit. Not all of it, you know, but we made so much fucking progress up until this point. Like, there's no denying that. There's no denying that. If you go back to doing, excuse me, if you go back to doing the bullshit, that bullshit that you was doing before, you know, and trying to operate from your mind and everything, and trying to control shit and blah, 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 operate from that, let me tell you something. You feel that shit. You feel that shit. You feel it. There's no denying that shit. Cause you feel that shit. And you're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to see something. Let me tell you this, man. These setbacks, you know, these things that happen in life and everything else, is not going to stop happening. You can't control it. You can't control it. Like I said, there's no knowing when this show is going to end. There's no knowing that. We don't know how it's going to end. We don't know when. All right? And I said this, and like I said this, we can think about all the fucking stories that we've been through, all the situations. We can think about, you know, the good times. We can think about all the fucking dramas, the things, the blahs, the, oh man, they hurt me, the da-da-da-da-da, the blah blah. We can think about all of that, right? Let me tell you this. Once everything is done, is done. That's it. Your fears and all that, it's not gonna fucking matter at the end of the day. It's not gonna matter. Once the show is done, it's done. None of it will matter. Your fears won't matter. The stories that you keep telling yourself won't fucking matter. The limitations that you think that you have won't freaking matter. Like, none of it will matter. None of it will fucking matter. Once the show is done, it's done. Maybe we'll hop on to another show, but once everything's done, it's done. Be present. Realize that this is all that there is right now. This doesn't mean to, you know, I'm not trying to invite you to go back to fucking, you know, like the same bullshit that we used to do and da-da-da-da-da, and oh yeah, woo, let's go back, yeah, oh yeah, or, you know, it's not about that. It's not that type of invitation. If you want to do that, by all means, do your thing, but, you know, at least for some of us, at least, maybe I'm wrong for assuming, maybe we're just tired of just being in our own bullshit. Maybe we're just tired of our own bullshit. And these snow people interrupting the I love you guys, man. Peace.